love when my creations have a dual purpose. This box is not only beautiful, but it organizes my future scrapbooking projects and my life. How can one little box do so much? Let me show you. Hi, I'm Jami Petersen. Today we're going to start with this blank stamp recipe box from Creative Imaginations. It comes with these chipboard dividers and plenty of blank cards for recipes. It also comes with this cardboard stabilizer. We're going to save this. You probably would normally throw it out, but we have a cool purpose for this I'm going to show you later on. Now, you would use these things for recipes, but I'm not much of a cook, so I'm going to do something a little more unusual with this box. Let's start by decorating it. The first thing that I'm going to do is, of course, distress my edges. You've all seen how this is done. I'm just using my chalk ink along the edges and voila. I'm going to use this beautiful brown and blue Flourish paper from the Double Visions line from Creative Cafe. What's great about this is if you're not a Flourish girl and you're more of the funky polka dot kind, you can use the other side. Now, you know me, I don't like to measure, so I had some help in figuring out the best way to utilize our 12 by 12 pages. You're only going to need 2 sheets to finish your box, and you're going to have some lovely fat scraps left over that we're going to use at the end to decorate our inside pages. And I'm just going to set those aside, and we'll use those later. And this is all you need then to decorate your box. Now, you've all seen how to adhere paper to the box, so just find your coordinating panels and stick them on there. We're off to a great start. This is really starting to take shape, but of course we have to add some embellishments. And I want to tell you about this great program I found at my Creative Cafe store. It's called Happy Hour, and my friends and I go there every week and we make great projects. The cool thing about Happy Hour is they have everything that you need in these sweet little candy jars. And these are just a few examples. We can choose as many or as little as we need and then purchase them right on the spot instead of buying a big packet of things that we'll never use. In this case, I'm going to grab 2 of my puffy felt flowers and stack them just like that. I'm also going to want to grab some wonderful buttons. Here I've got a brown and a blue. Then these will just be stacked and adhered right on top of my box, like so. They also have these wonderful spools of ribbon that you can buy by the yard. I'm going to use this brown velvet ribbon for a little bit of warmth and texture. I'm also going to use these wonderful felt word borders, and I just need a little snippet, so I'm going to cut off a little bit and it's going to be adhered to the front of the box. Now, when everything is glued on, lovely, lovely, it looks like this. Here's our puffy felt flowers and buttons, our wonderful ribbon, and also our felt word borders. Now we're done with the outside and we're ready to move on to the inner pages. Here's where the real organization to my projects comes in. You remember our chipboard dividers and note cards from the beginning. Well, each project now is going to have its own divider, and the way I'm going to tell whose is whose is I'm going to decorate one. So I need a picture, and I have one here of my friends. What I've done with this is sprayed my picture with this awesome new stuff called SuperSeal from Creative Imaginations. This stuff is brand new and it's great. It protects my pictures, it's non-yellowing, it's acid-free of course, and the cool thing is it makes my pictures waterproof. Now when I'm finished, my divider looks like this. I've used more of my Creative Cafe embellishments, you remember our buttons, and some other fun stuff that they have available. I can really show you now how this is going to work. It's going to pop right in the front, and then I have all my pictures, memorabilia, important notes, and everything that's going into my projects. The inner pages are finished, so now we need to do just a little bit more with the inside of the box. I have my Creative Cafe punch-out embellishments. These are made of nice, thick cardstock, and I really like this guy. It's going to match perfectly, and it's the right size to go on the inner lid. So I'm just going to punch that out and set it aside for a second. Now, I love this flower right here. It's a great size for what I want to use, and it's got a nice shape, but the colors aren't my favorite. It's at times like these we must all ask ourselves one important question. What would Trisha do? I ask myself this question quite frequently, and this once I know the answer. Trisha would punch this out and she would use the plain white side and make her own color combination. So what we need to do first is condition our petals. We do this by bending them and crunching them together. And as I do so, this nice thick cardstock is going to start to peel away. As you can see, there are a couple layers in there, and I'm just going to help it out a little bit. And look at how nicely that curls up. Now, once you get your entire flower done, you'll have something that looks like that. How cool is that? And all we have to do now is add our color. I'm going to use my chalk ink because it's a nice light color, and I'm just going to gently stroke the color onto all of my petals, and also the back sides of the petals too. You want to make sure you get every side of them because it's going to curl and twist, and then that will bring out the color really nicely. So I'm also going to use another highlight color just to make it a little more interesting. Still need something, so since I'm right here at my art bar, all I'm going to do is go grab another button, and then it sits right in the middle. When I'm all done, it looks like that, and it's ready to go on the inside of our box. So I'll bring back our finished box. Then that goes right in the center there, like so, and I'm ready to drop in my pages from earlier. Now, one last thing. This is a huge box and it holds a lot of stuff. So I have a little bit of an issue since my box isn't quite full with the cards slipping. You remember our cardboard stabilizer from earlier that we were going to throw out? Well, now I've decorated it with our Creative Cafe embellishments and our nice fat scraps from before, and I'm simply going to drop it behind the cards, and that helps to hold my pages up. Then, as my projects expand and condense, this will work with any size that you have. The great thing about Creative Cafe is they have lots of color schemes, lots of choices, so if you're not into this, there's tons of other stuff that you can do. Let me show you some. You remember our Bare Elements recipe box? Here's another version. Wouldn't this make a cute gift for friends or family? In fact, if you have a grandma, this would be a great gift for every grandchild for her to keep all her photos organized. And it's time for all of us to start thinking about Valentine's Day. Look at how cute these stacked buttons are. This would make a great centerpiece. And of course, our traditional Valentine's card for the one you love. Now, you can see how important it is to be creative, and it's even more important to spend time with your friends. So make sure you set aside at least an hour every week to do both. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
For step-by-step instructions on how to create this week's project, download the design guide featuring special make-it-your-own bonus tips.